Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. I'm just out for a walk, but I want to do something in this vlog about something that every DJ should know, but there is not much information and you don't hear a lot about it. So let's get started. Well, I'm on my way to Den Helder, of all places, and I thought Den Helder is one of the cities in the most top of the left side of the Netherlands. That is a pretty big city, but apparently it's not. For the last hour I'm driving through meadows and very off-road countryside things. I'm on my way to Den Helder to a client, and on the way to my client, sorry guys, I had a little setback. The road was closed around Amsterdam. I had to go by Amsterdam. The most direct route was right around Amsterdam, but now I had to go left, and Google Maps sent me all the way back again and again and again to the same closed highway. So that wasn't really useful. Now I'm almost a half hour, 45 minutes late already. I just called the client and luckily it was no problem. But we're going to do a quiz today with 50 people, and I'm really curious, but what I heard, it seems to be a fun group. I hope the evening will be great. In vlogs I hear and see everything about every aspect of DJing, but what I don't see is something about hearing loss, because dancers get bad knees just like I did, but DJs get hearing loss. Hearing loss is for good, it's forever. You can't get rid of it. You only can save your ears and be careful so that it won't get worse. I'm very careful with my ears now, and I studied what I can do to prevent more hearing loss. And I noticed that it is a subject that there is not a lot information about, and that it's not very common that people know about, also even DJs. What is hearing loss? Well, in your ears are so-called cochlea, but I don't know how to pronounce it in English. In Holland we say slakkenhuis. In your cochlea there are hairs, and those hairs are vibrating with sound. But if you hear a loud voice, those hairs are getting down. That's when you hear the beeping noise in your ear, because those hairs are making a short, and that short is translated into a beep. The hearing damage you get from the lower noise, not the high noise, because the higher frequencies are on front of your cochlea, but the receiving of the bass and the lower frequencies are perceived right behind in the last part of your cochlea. So every time you hear a bass sound, it reaches the entire cochlea. And the first hairs that are getting damaged are the first hairs in cochlea, because they are used and vibrating the most. When you're younger, those hairs will get up eventually, but when you're getting older, they stay down, or they stay longer down. So that's why good health and healthy eating is very important, because then those hairs will revive quicker than when you're not healthy or not working out or something. But there will get a point that those hairs won't stand up again. and that's when you have hearing loss. They stay down and you have a ringing sound in your ear. Really brilliant scientists have figured out a limit per 24 hours which you can safely listen to music. For example, 80 dB of sound, you can listen to it for 8 hours, and per 3 dB more, that time will be cut in half. So 83 dBs will you can listen to that for 4 hours. 86 dBs you can listen to it for 2 hours. And you probably have figured out that safe hearing time when you can listen to music will get very short very fast. And it's safe to say that when you're going to a club or a festival, those volumes will easily reach the 100 dB. And when I was in Ibiza, I was really curious about the noise levels in the famous clubs. In Parsha, I reached a stunning 107 dBs. In Hard, I measured 104. And in Privilege, I measured 105. That may be bad for you as a listener or a party animal, but when you are a DJ, you are having a headphone on and you try to make a louder noise in your headphones so you can hear the new song you're trying to mixing in. But what can you do to prevent hearing loss? Well, there are a couple of things you can do. For example, you can buy earplugs. I bought these for about €200. They are custom made for my ears, so they won't bleed, and bleed with I mean bleeding of sound. So they isolate really good. These plugs have special filters in them. For example, these have 15 dB filters in right now, but there are 25 dB filters available. The 10 dB filters, the main advantage of that is that they filter over the whole frequency spectrum, and when someone's talking to you, you can hear them. The cheaper ones, for example the Alpines, are not designed to be this precise in overall frequency filtering. If you look at the graph, they're all over the place, and these 15 dB filters are somewhat a straight line over the whole frequency spectrum, and over the whole frequency spectrum filters 15 dB. The 25 dB filters are a little bit worse, but those are really good for using, for example, in a club. You can still hear people talking, but it's a little bit more difficult to understand people. But for music, the music is loud enough, you can feel it in your body, no problem at all. With these plugs, with the 15 dB filters, you can extend your safe listening time when the volume is 101 dB in a club from 45 seconds to 2 hours. With the 25 dB filters, you can extend your safe listening time to 8 hours per 24 hours. Those plugs are of course for everyone, but if you're DJing, there are special in-ear plugs. I showed them in a previous video, but I will go into detail. These are my in-ear DJing plugs. You have to put them in before a DJ gig, so what you won't scare your ears with loud noises and all the hairs in your cochlea are down. You have to put them in before your gig. You screw these in your ears. For example, this is the part that is going completely into your ear. These isolate the surrounding noise, but these have speakers in them, so you can hear also the sound of your mixer. And these plugs are especially designed to filter everything around you. And you put them in like this. And now they're in. So why don't you do it? You have just one pair of ears, and when it's broken, it's broken. And I get it, when you're young and It's kind of silly to go to a club or a cafe with those earplugs in, but you'll thank yourself later for not being so naive in about 10 years or 15 years. Okay, that's it for my lecture about wearing protection for your ears. It is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was useful to you. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching, and bye.